went from a 1.9 GPA at a non-target school and 150 internship rejections to working at Adobe and the founder of Spark Your Resume.
Hi everyone, I'm Arnold Morales, and this is Non-Traditional, a podcast about succeeding in college and overcoming obstacles that non-traditional students face. Together, we will interview recruiters, scholarship committees, and successful graduates. I will also share personal stories, tips, and how-tos just for you. So stay tuned.
Leander graduated from Georgia State University with dual degrees in marketing and finance. He was the president of his fraternity, Alpha Kappa Psi, a constant volunteer, and now works at Adobe as a financial analyst and founder of Spark Your Resume. Welcome to today's episode, Leander.
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me, bro.
Thank you. So I always see your Instagram, man. You're a stylish guy. I like it. I was like, man, this guy has style. I like it.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. I try to put on the gear every now and then, man. Now that I got the brand, though, I'm rocking my own t-shirts and hoodies, man. Yeah, man, it's going
I
good
also
though,
like
bro.
I also like the positive vibes. I really like that. Like it feels like you're very into self-development, motivation. So I really like that also.
Yeah, man. Hey, honestly, man, I just try to document the journey and share it, bro, because I
Yep.
think that's what people want to hear. I mean, people need to see, not even what they want to see, man. It's just the struggles I go through, the good things that happen, sharing it all, man. Just being transparent is what I'm really about, bro, because you never know how that can influence somebody to start, or to let somebody know that they're not the only people struggling too, right? So it's
Yeah.
all love, man, at the end of the day.
And that's exactly how this podcast started. I said, hey, I have a motivational story I think I should share. People laughed. Literally, they were like, Arnold, we all have motivational stories that we could share. And then I was like, so why don't you share them? Why don't we
Sharon.
start normalizing the struggle? Why don't we start making all those non-traditional, non-target students feel like they can belong in the big companies instead of just hiding that behind us? So that's what it's about. So let's talk about that.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
All right. So I looked through your LinkedIn and you were very involved as a student, either volunteering or leading your fraternity. How do you think these activities help shape you and your success?
Man, it did a lot for me, man. I think the most impactful volunteer or leadership experience I had was being president of AK Psi, man, 2019 to 2020, because now that I'm running my own business, man, I promise you, I would have not known where to start if it wasn't to be president for AK Psi, because I tell college students, man, get the experience while it's free, right? Because once you get into the real world and money comes into play, it's less room, it's less margin of error, right? You can't make too many mistakes, or you're going to be directly impacted by those mistakes you make. When it comes to a organization in college, yeah, it might might make you feel bad, right? But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's not going to hurt your pockets like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or impact the business entirely. So being the president of AK Psi, man, because it taught me leadership first and foremost, but teamwork and organizational structure, man. Like, because we had like e-board, right? Then we got what do we had? Like different groups. So we had like social, like committees. My bad. We had different committees. So social media committee, community chair, right? Community service committee. You got the finance committee, right? Same thing as an organization. You got for business, you got marketing, sales, finance, HR, legal, operations, IT, right? Those are all sectors of business. So it taught me, okay, I need these sectors and I need people to fulfill these positions, and what type of people need to fill those positions, right? So by me being in that position, I learned those skill sets for free, bro. Like that's invaluable. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
tell college students, man, I don't care what you're doing in the classroom, man. You got to get that real world experience, man. There's nothing like it.
Man, I've never thought about it that way. I've never thought about it as, you know what, you can make an event. Pretty much no one can show up, and still, like, it didn't cost you anything. It costed maybe lunch and stuff like that for the school. But then you think about it like as, and then like, if it was a business though, that would totally be wrong. It would be like it would hurt. Wow, I
It
never
would
thought about that.
hurt.
It is true. It is true. It's free, like great leadership and organizational experience. I never thought about it that way. I love that. Man, we just starting with good information over there. I love that. That's good.
No, but it's real, man. Like people really need to take like college students. I'm telling you, like you only get to be a student for I think max maybe like 10 years if you do like PhD and
Yeah.
masters. But most people are getting their bachelor's, bro. It's like 4, maybe 5 years, depending on how long it takes you, bro. So you're not getting that time back. Take full advantage of it. I know people want to work full time while they're in college, or maybe they don't have the choice, right, to pay for school.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, you're not going to get that time back. You're going to be working full time for the rest of your life. Take advantage
Yeah.
of being a student.
Yeah, you know what, man? My plan wasn't the whole conversation to talk about like volunteering and leading in college, but this is such a great topic that I would love to keep on going on it. So, like what you said about those 4 years in college is, and it's so true because I remember like trying to work and do all these things, but it was like, okay, you know what? Like I could probably take the hit financially and like do a lot of stuff at college, which will land me long term a better job. Because it really sucks, but it's true. Like you need experience to get experience. You need these leadership skills to get those jobs, to get that experience. But the only way you can do it is if you have that time to invest in it instead of going to work for like a fast food place or like a restaurant or something like that, instead of actually being a leader on college. So man, I never thought about that. That's kind of like why the rich get richer and the poor stay poor, man, because of these things like this. These like don't even get me started about unpaid internships because that's even worse. It's like how
Bro,
can people afford it? But yeah,
I'm a startup and I pay everybody on my team. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I can't let anybody work for free, even if it's gonna hurt me at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. I think that's one thing my team actually sees is like I'm not greedy at all when it comes to having a business, bro. Like I think right now we might be in 30% profit, and that's just because I've structured it the right way. You know what I mean? But I haven't paid myself a penny from the business. Like I reinvest in everything to keep building, right? But but yeah, man, I can't. The free internships is a no go, bro. And what I want to say about internships, bro, it's like it's going to give you way more experience than any part time job or
oh yeah,
full time, part time job, or you work your minimum wage or whatever. They're going to pay you more, and it's going to be a lot more experience that's tangible to where you want to go in your career. So for the people that's actually hustling out here to get $7.25 to $15 an hour, bro, internships are going to pay you probably double times that at
yeah,
minimum, right? You're going to get real world experience, and you're going to be in an environment of people that's better than you at that specific time. That's going to teach you a lot. So it's like a win situation, bro.
yeah,
Like there's no
yeah,
losing in internships, and then you get to go back to school afterwards. Like it's like you stuck there, right? You get experience for 10 weeks. If you don't like it, cool. Move on to the next internship. Like I don't understand why students don't take advantage of that, bro. Because it's a great program to be a part of. Companies are taking now, and you're doing yourself a major disservice if you don't try to get an internship.
yeah, definitely for sure. I think that's one of the like I recruited before for a lot of the aerospace companies, and it's like that's one of the first things we look for, and students really need to get it. So I love this internship, and it brings me to the next topic. Like, how did you stand out at the job search, and like what do you recommend to your clients for spark your resume, how to stand out, and so like what are those tips for job seekers that you got?
Yeah, man. Well, I'll share a little bit of my story, like how I got my internships, man. So I already had a plan. So I like I said, I had a 1.9 GPA in the business school at Georgia State. When I went to Georgia State to be a business student, right? So I had to have a 2.8 GPA, which is a B minus average at Georgia State to get into the business school. Summer of 2017, I had to get three A's in the three major business classes to get into the business school. So I quit football that May. I was grinding, but I knew I wanted to get a banking job, right? Because I knew eventually I needed a banking internship, right? So I got hired at SunTrust that summer. SunTrust never got back to me, bro. I think it was God telling me to focus on my
Yeah,
schoolwork, bro, because it was going to deter me from focusing on my schoolwork. I had to get all A's that summer to get into the business school, right? So I'm working at a parking lot, just keeping some money in my pocket. My boy Patrick Dallas, shout out to Patrick, but he got me he let me work in this parking lot to keep money in my pocket while I'm focusing on my schoolwork. After that summer, I got hired at Bank of America. I got my all A's, right? I got into the business school.
nice.
I hired at Bank of America as a teller, making $15 an hour, and SunTrust was gonna pay me 12. So it literally worked out perfectly, bro. Like right, I achieved all my goals that summer, and that's when my life just changed. So then after I got the Bank of America internship, I knew for a fact though I had a goal in mind before I even got the banking job to get a finance internship. got hired at Wells Fargo for my first internship, moved to Minnesota. After that, came back, worked at Wells Fargo as a teller for part-time Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 25 hours a week. School Tuesday, Thursday, on top of being in leadership involved and community involvement
Yeah.
on campus. So I had a vision, bro. I was hustling. And I think that's what a lot of students don't understand. They have to have a vision. They have to know where they're going before they even start. Or else, like you're just doing things to do it. You know what I'm saying? You have no
Yep.
end goal in mind, right? You're just doing the next best thing. And I think that's where a lot of job seekers mess up, is where they just apply for anything they see and they have no vision of where they want to go in their career. So they're letting the world take them by storm rather than controlling their own destiny.
Yeah, that is exactly right, man. And I had the same exact experience. I was working at these jobs like anything, call center, warehouse. I went around from job to job, and then it's like, okay, all these people, all these people that we keep on bringing to our engineering organization. I was an engineering student. They were like, you need to get internships. You need to get internships. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go pay attention to these people. I'm gonna get my first internship, and I got my aerospace engineering internship with a small company. I was making $15 an hour, and I was like, what? I'm gonna get $15 an hour to go learn versus over here when I was had $10 an hour and I was working really hard. So it was
No,
perfect for me, and that
facts.
and that set me up for success, man. That one internship got me to the big company internship. Then it got me to my dream job. Like that's how I literally got set up for success with all these internships.
Yeah, man,
But
you
you
got to
said
start.
something, yeah, definitely. So you said something very important where you moved. You went to Minnesota for a summer. I did the same thing. I for my second one, I went to Utah for a summer. So
Okay.
you're from Georgia. You're in Georgia. I'm from Indiana. I guess Indiana is kind of very similar. But like, I was scared to move. Like, it was weird for me moving to Utah. I imagine it was weird for you moving to Minnesota. And
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of students do not look at opportunities outside of local area.
Mm.
Like, what would you tell those students, man, that they're just don't looking for, because they're like, oh, I don't have the financial means to move, or I don't know, I don't want to be far from here, or what would you say to those students?
Right, man. So get out your house. Put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, man. That's the only way you're gonna grow. And for funds, I mean, most companies they take care of that anyway. So like, I got a stipend to move to Minnesota. You know what I mean? That kind of covered pretty much, I think at least half of the rent that I would need to pay for the summer. So it's not like they won't, they're not gonna leave you hanging. You know what I mean? They want you
Yeah,
to come up there for a reason. So, but then they also pay you pretty well where you can cover that stuff too. You know what I mean? But it's going to teach you how to be an adult before you actually graduate from college, and also teach you how to move in a different city. So I had to find friends, you know what I'm saying? I had to go out, meet people. In 2018 summer, man. Summer's a great time in most cities. You know what I mean? Like
yep.
everybody's out moving, it's hot. You know what I mean? Like it's a good time. So it was a great experience, man. I got to meet some top tier folks. Um, we did some like internship boot camps with different like organizations, career fairs, like meetups. It was top tier experience, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like Minnesota, if you haven't been, you gotta go. They got the Mall of America up there, bro. The water is nice. I mean, we go on yacht parties. It
That's
was
awesome.
crazy lit, bro. Like it was nice. It's a good time. I learned a lot. Um, and it taught me how to like really be an adult, bro. I had to be on my own. You know what I'm saying? I lived with my uncle because he lived out there, but they wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't really moving
Yeah,
with me. You know what I mean? They just gave me a spot to stay, which I'm grateful for, of course. But I still had to figure it out on my own. You know what I mean?
yep.
Like moving in a different city, not knowing anybody for real. But it's gonna teach you a lot. Like that experience is invaluable because when you graduate, you're most likely gonna get a full-time job. It might not be in a new city, but now it's time to live on your own. So why not get a little taste of it while you're in college? Like college gives you a taste for everything you're gonna do in life. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
don't take those experience for granted.
Yeah, definitely. College does make you an adult, and you hit right on it, which is the point that I wanted you to hit on. Like, I'm like, I don't understand why a lot of these students, like, imagine, because it's like the non-traditional background. It's like, bro, you are going to, financially, it's going to be okay. They'll either set you up with something or they'll give you like relocation stipend. And I don't know what people have told a lot of people, but I don't know why. Like, they come and tell me like, no, I'm like, so why are you looking at other companies outside of your city? They're like, oh no, because of financial reasons. I'm like, what do you mean financial reasons? They'll help you. And they're like, really?
Right.
So I think that's something that I don't know, like all these non-traditional students, they really need to understand.
They
So
do,
that's
bro.
great.
They do. They got it. But I mean, we got to educate them, though. You know what I mean?
Yep,
So
exactly.
a lot of people don't know because you don't know what you don't know. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So unless they trying to search for that information, and I think we got to do better with the school systems too, man. We're not teaching the right
Oh yeah.
things, right?
Yep.
They're not teaching people how to get ready to go get a job out of college. So
Don't even get me started on that.
yeah, man.
I have a whole presentation that I do for students. It's literally called "What You Don't Learn in Engineering School." I go, and those students are just like, man.
Yeah, man. All the important things, right?
Yeah, it literally is. And I literally start the presentation with like, here's a summary of everything people have told me. And it's this huge list. And that's the summary. Those are like the main points. And I usually put them in like buckets. And then, but one of the buckets is like, you don't learn how to land your dream job. But that's just a whole other topic for my other 1 hour presentation. So I'm not even going to go there. But here's all
Right,
the other things. So
right. No, it's a lot,
yeah, that's
man. We got to do
definitely
better,
crazy.
man.
So creating content, you create content you on LinkedIn, Instagram, you're doing all these things with your business. So how do you think creating content has helped you, and what are you working on right now?
Yeah, man. Content has most definitely helped. It builds credibility. You become that thought leader in the space. So you become that resource for people, right? So when people start believing and seeing the things you're talking about actually coming true, it just builds credibility, man. We all
Yeah.
start from somewhere. So I'm gonna keep creating content, just talking about the things I know, the things I want to know. I might just throw out some predictions every now and then. You know what I mean? See if they come out true based on my analysis and research. And if they don't, people can hold me accountable for it, right? So it's pretty neat, man. I like the content. We actually just came up with a marketing strategy, man, with the team. So trying to go crazy for the second year of business, man. We about to hit our first year in about 2 weeks. So going into the second year, man, we trying to really go crazy with the content, build that platform, build the podcast, build the brand even more to where we getting more leads in for the business, helping more people
Yeah.
out, just expanding, man. Really just trying to 10x, bro. To be honest, so just gonna keep creating content, man. But right now, what we're working on, I think the next thing I'm about to do is I know we just started the YouTube channel, so just getting more consistent with the podcast, getting people on the YouTube channel. TikTok is another is on our
Yeah.
radar right now, just because they create the short videos, 30 to 60-second videos, and then more content, more downloadables, so people can grab. I got the free interview guide. I want to create a resource sheet for entrepreneurs, so all the systems and tools I've used for my business. Probably gonna work on that a little bit today. We need to do a part two for the tools and resources to grow your business for all the entrepreneurs and job seekers that want to look to grow their business or have an extra stream of income, which I highly believe in. I think everybody should have
Yeah.
multiple streams, right? So use your 9 to 5 skill sets to create your 6 to 10.
Yeah, I love it, man. And I'll definitely have links in the description of this episode for anyone that wants to find any of those things that Leander mentioned, any of his social media accounts. So I guess another question.
Yeah.
Do you have a couple minutes after 9:30,
Oh yeah,
or
yeah,
you
yeah,
have a
yeah.
hard stop?
Nah,
Okay,
you good,
cool.
man.
Because
You good.
I started really late. Sorry about that. So you were rejected a whole bunch of times.
Yeah,
150, I
man.
think I saw, or something like
I
that.
think it was more than that, bro. I kept an Excel sheet, bro. It was wild. I gave up after a minute, bro.
Students give up after like five sometimes, and it's like, so
Yeah.
why, like, why did you keep going, and how do you overcome those rejections?
I mean, bro, honestly, like it's a numbers game. But also I'm very like before it was a numbers game for me, and then I got strategic with it. Right. I learned that back door right to the job search, which is networking and building
Yep.
relationships and really getting to know people, right? But even then you still need your stuff together, like your resume and LinkedIn profile, right? Because like I tell my clients, like you can have all these conversations and build this relationship. But if I come, hey Arnold, can you send me your resume so I can send it to my hiring manager? After you had that conversation, you don't have that resume ready, you just wasting your time,
Yep.
right? So even with business, bro, I built the foundation first to where we can sustain the people that we expect to come in based on our marketing strategies. So I've automated the hell out my business, bro. Like to the point where I'm waking up the orders. You know what I mean? Like if people
That's
getting what
awesome.
they keep people getting what they need when I'm asleep, type deal. So focus on your operations and foundation for a job seeker. That's your LinkedIn profile, your resume, get it prepped for interviews before you even go out into the market and try to build all these relationships. Because when they ask you for things and you don't have it ready, now you just lost the opportunity. So it's
Yeah.
one, like I said, it's one thing to get a customer, it's another thing to keep a customer. So I can start building a relationship, but then I maintain the relationship. That's a whole different ball game. So when it comes to these job seekers, man, you gotta understand first and foremost where you want to go, how you plan on getting there, and what does that even look like? What does the end goal even look like for you? Right. Once you find clarity in your job search, I think you'll be a lot more successful when it comes to even looking for opportunities and connecting with the right people. It's not about connecting with 10,000 people, is connecting with the right people. Because I can connect with
Yep.
2 people that's going to get me further than you connecting with 10 people. You know what I mean? So it's the connecting with the decision makers, right? Connecting with people that's going to help you be like get further in your career. But more importantly, man, I think it comes down to who you are, your core values, and understanding where you want to go, and then all the chips will align.
Yeah, I love that. And it's starting to become kind of a repetitive thing where I bring in students that started listening to the podcast, and they kind of share their success stories. And
Okay.
it's always very similar. And it's like, okay, you know what? I applied hundreds of times, but it was just a spray and pray approach where I just like did one resume, I sent it out to everyone. It's like all these online applications, didn't get anything. And it all ends up being like, you know what? And then I ended up getting smarter about it. And that's the thing, like with Spark Your Resume, that's the thing with non-traditional college success that we're trying to do. Like we're trying to get you smart about it before you have to do those 150 applications. So you don't have to do those 150. You do those 10, 20 where you're networking instead of applying online. Because I've heard
Right.
people, man, like I think I heard one person tell me like I applied for 400 positions online, Arnold, and I was like, what? You
So
imagine the network you would have built and everything with
you
that
feel
time?
me?
It's
You
like,
feel me?
man. So, but yeah,
Hey, and
like
that's key, man. And I tell people all the time, man, you need to network to network, not network when you need something. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? A lot of people want to start building relationships when they need something, and it doesn't work like that. Like
So that's
networking and
networking.
relationships take time, bro. Like you can't just expect me to go crazy for you. You know what I mean? And I just met you.
Yep.
Like people come to my LinkedIn all the time, like, "Yo, can you refer me?" I'm like, "Bro, this is our first message, bro. Like, I don't even know you, dog. like,
They attach the resume. Like, what
you
do you
know
want
what
me
I
to do?
mean? Like, I want to help, but like, at least act like you want to know me or be
Yeah.
creative, bro. Like, at least look at the podcast or whatever else I got going on, and then come and be like, "Yo, I checked out this, I checked out that. Can we chat?" You know what I mean? Cause I tell
Yeah.
all my job seekers, man, like get people on the phone because now I can put them on the spot. It's like, yo, I got Arnold right here in front of me. I can ask him anything I want. He either gonna answer me or look at me crazy.
Yeah. That's funny you say that, man, because it's like I get messages with resumes pretty much on daily. It's like, hey Arnold, can you find me a job? And it's like, no. Two, it's like,
Facts,
why would I read your huge like essay that they put
bro,
in their
bro,
message?
bro.
Like, it's like, man, I
Don't get
usually
me
just like copy
started,
paste message. It's like, here you go. And the thing that kind of pisses me off, it's like I literally have a podcast with like 40 episodes that everything's free. And they're like, Arnold, can you give me some advice on how to get a job? I'm like, oh my God, they don't even know I have a podcast. And it's so obvious. It's so obvious. It's like, it's on my banner, it's on my title,
bro,
it's everywhere.
bro,
It's like, what?
bro. Don't get me started, bro. People
Yeah.
do not take the time to just do the research, bro. I'm
Yeah.
putting it in your face.
Yeah.
Like I'm putting it in your face. Like it's not like you can avoid it. You go to my profile, you see everything I have, like links in the featured tab.
They
You
don't
know what
even
I
see
mean?
that. They don't look at it, I
I'm
guess, or something.
like, I'm not making it hard to find out. You know what I mean? Like, subscribe to the pod. That's why, bro. I promise you. Like, honestly, one of the main reasons I started the podcast was to save me time, but also help the community. I'm sending my goal is to make so much content to the point where I'm answering everybody's question with links. Hey, Leander, why did you start
That
Spark Your
is
Resume?
exactly.
Bro, why did you start Spark Your Resume? Go listen to the podcast. what do I need to start my business? Here you go, episode 2. You know what I
That's
mean?
exactly what I do too. That's
How do
funny
I
you
build
said that.
relationships on LinkedIn? Episode 5. Like,
That is exactly how I have it, man. They're like, Arnold, how do I get my resume up to shape? Like, here, episode 12. Arnold,
bro,
how do I interview? Episode 10. It's like, hey, here's everything. And it's like,
everything
man,
you
if you want
need.
one on one, we can definitely talk about that. That's funny you say
Oh
that.
yeah,
And
see one. That's the thing too,
go
bro.
ahead.
One on one. That's when you monetize, right?
Yeah,
Because I think that's what people gotta understand too. Is like, yeah, the advice I give is for everybody. But if you want tailored advice, and it's gonna take me time to do your specific work, that's gonna cost you.
Yep.
I'm gonna
And
give
it's
out.
fair. The thing is,
Oh,
like,
what?
yeah, I
Yes.
had this dumb mentality at the beginning. Well, actually, I still have this dumb mentality. For me, it's a nonprofit. So for me, right now, it's not about making money. It's about helping. But there was a point where it's like, no, I can't help students nonstop every single day. So it's like, okay, students, if you want help, I need to either charge or something so I can at least pay for all the stuff that I'm doing for the free content. It's like at least that, like at least I need to break
No,
even.
facts, bro.
Yeah.
No, bro.
So
Hey, like, no, bro. Make money, bro.
yeah.
Like, I would never apologize for making money.
Oh yeah.
We put in the work to do that, bro. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't easy. Creating podcasts is not easy. Editing, producing content every week for students to listen to for free is not easy. You should most
Yeah.
definitely be monetizing off of that, bro. And don't feel bad for making money. Shoot it. Nope. All these other companies not feeling bad for making money.
I know, right?
I promise you that. Hey, Apple gonna charge you. Microsoft
Yeah.
gonna charge you. Everybody gonna charge you, bro. I mean, they bring in value. They got
Yeah.
they got the right to, right? So
Yeah, go
bring
tell Apple you're
hey,
a broke college student. They're
hey,
like,
if you
sure, here's your discount.
but see, this is the thing though, bro. Even with me, right? So I have most of our clients that Spark Your Resume is mid-career professionals, right? They take their career more seriously, right? And they willing to pay the money. So our average order is
Yep.
like $360. We charge 500 for the mid-career, 350 for entry level. But that's when we do your resume, cover letter, LinkedIn. LinkedIn, we give you access to our LinkedIn tutorial. We got messaging templates, right, to help you get started. But we actually do the work for you, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like you're actually like we're doing a resume review. No, we're doing the resume for you. You get to review and edit. That's gonna cost you. You know what I mean? Like that's
Oh yeah,
personal.
for
That's
sure.
that's personalized stuff, right? But when it comes to students, my thing is if you're looking to get into the student game, bro, you got to go target the universities.
Yep.
So you do B2B, right? Don't charge a student. Let
Hmm.
the university charge a student through student fees, right? Then they come to you where the university cuts you a check. Boom, they cut you a check just like tuition every semester. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Hey
exactly.
Arnold, here you go. Here you go. Here, handle these 100 students. Handle these 2,000 students, right? To where you're not actually charging the student because now, like the university, that's their baby, right? They want to
Yep.
make sure the students are good and they got a high placement rate after because that's ultimately going to make their university look
They
better,
make, yep, exactly.
right? So when
And
you
and
go on
that
to,
and that is our business model. Like pretty much that is like, okay, if you want one on one, if you really want it, here's the price. If you and then our target is companies. We're still trying to figure it out. So
hey, yeah, man,
yeah.
figure it out, bro. If you got any questions, let me know.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so I'll cut that part out since I don't want students to care too much about the business side. So what other aspects of Leander are non-traditional, or anything else you want to share about your story that you think a non-traditional student could benefit from to start to realize, hey, I have things like Leander too. I went through some struggles too.
Yeah, man. I got a son now. You know what I mean? So that's
Congratulations.
yeah, man. That's dope. I just turned one. I'm about to turn 24 in 2 weeks, so pretty young. You know what I mean? And I mean, I was an athlete when I first got to college. I was a walk on. Didn't have a scholarship, so try to earn the scholarship. It didn't work out. I'm still a businessman at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So I had to make that tough decision to walk away from the sport I love and transition out because I knew where I wanted to go in life. You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to make those tough decisions to let go of some things you might dearly love to do the things that's really going to impact where you want to go. Um, I was a black belt in Taekwondo, so I think I take karate lessons when I was a kid, man. Very involved, bro. Like very active, man. I like working out. But even more non-traditional stuff, man. Like school was tough, bro. Like double major, like it's no joke, man. It took me 5 years to get that, which is pretty average. But it was long nights, bro. I'm talking about I go study from
Yeah.
to 2, 3 a.m., wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm back at it again. You know what I mean? Like 3 hours of sleep nights, even with the business now, working full time and having a business. I'm full time business, full time Adobe, bro. You know what I mean? So right after Adobe, I say 6 to 10, but sometimes that six could turn into 3 a.m. and I'm
Yeah.
right back
Plus
at
weekends.
Adobe. Right. Oh, weekends is full time. I'm talking about
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, folks like, yo, and then hey, it's another thing. You're gonna lose some
Hey,
friends, bro.
let's go. I was about to say that. Let's go out, Leander, on Saturday. I got stuff
You
to do.
know, you know what I mean? Like, yo, Lee, we ain't seen you in a minute, bro. I feel you, bro, but I'm locked in, bro. You know what I mean? Like it's sacrifices, right?
Yeah.
And your real friends will understand that. If they don't, hey, let people you outgrow people, man. It's normal. So let them ride, man. You got a vision, and don't let anybody get you off your path. So I think that's my only advice, man. Is really to stay the course, man. Believe in yourself, and always bet on you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on today's episode, Leander. It was nice talking to you.
Same here, brother. Peace.
Thank you for listening to this episode from Non-Traditional. We will have new episodes every Wednesday, so make sure you subscribe. Thank you.